Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Typewriter. This was sent to me by Fowers Games, and is designed by Tim Fowers, Jeff Beck, and Sky Larson. In Typewriter, players use their collection of keys to spell words, but plan ahead because all the keys will flip. You all play as wannabe authors doing the freelance writing hustle and rummaging through old parts so you can build a better typewriter than the competition. It's a new evolution in word games. Let me show you how to play. So in Typewriter, you're making words to score points. So let's kind of go over the zones of play. This is called the offer. These keys are available for you to acquire on your turn. Whenever you take one of these, it is immediately replaced with a key from this bag. And it is always placed with its white side face up when it's placed into this offer. Now your pool are these keys down here. These are keys that belong to you. Some of them have letters showing, and some of them will have different actions on them, like this. So, when you build a word, you use keys from your pool. There is also a bank and a star zone. These are scoring things. We'll get into that later. Now, at the start of each round, you draw an event card, and this will change the rules in some way. This one says, ignore the offer this round. Instead, draw 3 keys from the bag and claim 1. So, that would be the event for that round. Then, on your turn, you spell a word. Spell a single word using any of the keys in your pool with a letter side face up. You can also use the top common key, this letter I here, to help spell the word. W-R, I'll use the I, N-G. That's a wild. So ring. Okay, so that would be my word. After you spell a word, check how much it fills up the meter on your typewriter card. So you can see on each of these keys, there's a small number. This one says 2, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5. So my meter will fill up 5. Then after filling my meter, I can reset my meter to 0 if I want for potent abilities. So you can see on the typewriter, there are different like little colored circles on here. So if my meter were past it, I could choose to reset my meter to 0. And if I do that, then I can use up to 3 abilities of different colors. So I can use 1 green ability, 1 purple ability, and 1 orange ability. So if I fill it up all the way, then I could use an orange, 1 purple, 1 green. I'll go over these abilities later, but these are optional. You can always, instead of using an ability, be like, I'm going to keep my meter as it is so that I can charge it up more to get more abilities later. Then, whatever keys you used for your word, you flip them over. So you can see a lot of these will change to letters or abilities, depending on what side they're on. And then the keys that were flipped go back into your pool. And then you choose a key from the offer. Now, with this event, you wouldn't, but normally what you do is you look here and go, I'm gonna take the B. So this B will now go into my pool. It is now a key I can use in future turns. Now let's kind of go over the actions. Now, at any time during your turn, I'll show you some examples of actions. This one says, star a banked key. That'll make more sense later. This one says, claim 2 temporary wilds. Another concept I'll explain later. But yeah, basically a lot of these, and I'll show you some other ones as well. Plus 1 meter per key in the word. Bank 1 key in your word. Again, that'll make more sense later. Plus 3 to meter. So those action keys can be used at any time. If you use them, they flip to their letter side. Also, each key can only be used once per turn. So if you use a key as a letter, it cannot be used as an action in the same turn. And likewise, if you use an action and it flips into a key, you can't use that key in the word in that round. Now let's explain what banking and starring means. So banking keys is the way to score victory points. So whenever you bank something, it goes in this pile, and you can see that they give you victory points equal to their value. So this B is worth 2 points. So if it's in here, it's 2 points at the end of the game. However, these keys can no longer be used by you during the game. And then if you're able to star a key, then what happens is they are worth their value as well as the golden stars next to the number. So like this I, if you manage to bank this, it would be 1 point normally, but plus 4 more points if it were in the star. Now let's talk about how you can bank this top common key, because normally this common key goes back into the pile. However, if you spell a word with 9 or more letters, you can immediately take this top key and put it in your bank. Then this new vowel key will be available for everybody to use. Then if you just basically start a new round, once everyone's taken a turn, you'll draw a new event card, and you'll keep playing until 9 event cards have been played. So you have 9 rounds. So let's look at our typewriter and go over what these different rewards are. So this one is claim 1 key from the bag. So you just grab a free key. This one is star 1 banked key. And this one is bank 1 key in your word. The purple one is claim a temporary wild. I kind of mentioned those before. Temporary wilds can be used as wilds, I'm grabbing one. So they look like this. You can have a maximum of 3 of these. And basically, when you use them, they are spent. So they're like a one-time wild key. This one means add 1 key to the offer. So if you want more choices, these wouldn't be spilled out like this normally, but it would go here from the bag blind. So this one means flip a key in your bank. So if I had this one in my bank, I would want to flip it because this side is more valuable. And then this one is claim 1 key from the offer. So you get to take 1 for free from there. So those are the different symbols on the abilities. And so yeah, so basically as you play, if you trigger this bank ability, you'll start putting your keys into the bank and potentially star them later for more points. But then as you bank keys, you have less keys to work with. I'll just show you a couple of the other events, but otherwise that's pretty much the game. So this one, if you bank a key this round, you may bank from your pool instead of your word. Or if your word has the same letter twice, fill your meter by 3. There's a whole stack of these. You can play with different events each time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make words with the keys, flip the ones you used, bank them and star them to get points later. And that's the game.
So I've always enjoyed the word-making games that these guys make. I reviewed Paperback Adventures back in episode 243. I've played Paperback, I've played Hardback. I like that this one feels very different and thematic. The meter system is interesting and kind of reminds me of Space Base, where you save up your money, or in this case your meter, to get a bigger reward later. It did feel to me that certain rewards were just inherently better than others though, because this game only has a limited number of turns. I feel like scoring as much and as often as you can kind of takes priority over like, cool, I'll add more keys to my collection. Of course, those keys can help you down the line. I think I was just greedy for more turns in this game, which ultimately is a good thing. I've always said the sign of a good game is when you go, oh man, I wish I could keep playing. I wish I could do more turns. That's ultimately a good thing. But it does make me go, okay, because there's a limited number of rounds, I'm gonna always bank if I can. The whole flipping keys when you use the keys can take a little getting used to. I feel like that's the one part of the game that can feel just a little bit fiddly, especially because it's like, okay, actions need to be used before spelling the word. If you need a key for an action, you don't use it for the word, flip only the letters in the word. It's not that bad, but it's maybe the one part of the game flow that is a little tricky to remember. The whole banking and starring system though is clever. You start to lose keys, but you need to do that in order to, get points in the end. The 9 or more letters rule is particularly satisfying if you can pull off a really good word. That's what this game and its siblings have over other word games. I feel like these games that these guys make are really good at letting you pull off these interesting, longer words at a much more frequent rate than your typical word game, which might focus on other scoring parameters. I just like, hey, longer word, more meter. Long enough word, score a thing. That feeling of making a really great, long, interesting word is already worth the price of admission for me for this game. And then as usual for this company, the presentation looks great, the components for the keys are really nice. Overall, this is another solid word game from a company that already makes great word games. So I also like that setup is very easy. You can just start playing right away. If you like word games, this is a good one. And I think it feels very unique from the others that these guys make, and it's a good, worthy addition to their catalog.